Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, before we get to the boxing, we'll start with the NBA playoffs. Congratulations. Well, small congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks going up 3-2 in the series against Atlanta. In this game, you didn't have Trae Young for Atlanta, the all-star, or should be, the main man, and Antetokounmpo, Greek freak, for Milwaukee. So when both of the stars are gone, then you're gonna go for, or at least favor, Milwaukee then, because of the two all stars in Middleton and Drew Holiday, right? And Middleton and Drew Holiday did show up in this game, but I gotta go with bam. Like I've been saying the whole time, Brook Lopez is the key. Actually, Brook Lopez would have been the key for the Brooklyn series, and it would have been a lot easier. To have someone with Brook Lopez's offensive talent just standing in the corner is ludicrous. It's hard to watch. And even in this game, Brook Lopez at the beginning was being fed with Drew Holiday going to the hole, getting two people to come to him and feeding Brook Lopez for nice highlight reel dunks, which got him started. Even in this game, Brook ended up with 33 points, but he would have even had more if they would have just went to him straight on the block, right? Instead of just dropping it off to him on some of these, some of those plays. Instead of when you come up and it's just a half court set, everybody clear out, drop it down to Brook Lopez, and then they're going to start having to double team the man. And especially, like even when they were playing New Jersey, if Durant was on him or somebody else was on him, you have to feed him the ball to make that guy play defense. Because whoever's sticking Brook Lopez is going to have to play defense, and he's going to make his free throws. So I don't even understand why that is. Even if when Antetokounmpo comes back, you still have to go to Brook Lopez. It would make Antetokounmpo even way more effective because he's going to have a lot more room. You don't have to put Brook Lopez on the three-point line, right, the whole time. Yeah, people going to have to defend him, but that's, you're happy he's out there. He'll do more damage in the middle, and we've seen it. We've seen everything in his arsenal. He has a teardrop. He has an up and under. He has jump hooks. He can shoot the three if he has to. He has a swing through. He makes his free throws. He can finish with either hand. He can finish strong. He has a touch. It's pretty much everything in the offensive side. And then, he's going to be a little clumsy, like I said before, because most of the time he's not getting the ball until somebody's in trouble. And then they drop it off to him and expect a big 7'1", big old guy to be able to do all that without making some mistakes. So at the end of the day, if they continue to give it to Brook Lopez, even more so than the game when he just had his career high in 33, they'll be well off. I think Antetokounmpo should stay out one more game. If he's, not feeling bad, game 7, you have to go with everybody. But still, remember, feed Brook Lopez. They have to do something about that, and everybody has to have more room. Good for them. Now, like I say in sport, when you watch something legendary, I always tell you guys, keep your eyes on legendary things. Like, for example, Lewis Hamilton in the Formula One has seven titles in the Formula One, going for number 8, but he's got to go for it. It's going to be hard because Max Verstappen got a little bit better car with those Red Bulls, and Max Verstappen anyway ain't trying to drive behind nobody since he's been in the Formula One. That's the guy who's going to stop Lewis Hamilton from getting number 8. But Lewis Hamilton, if he got number 8, he would be the undisputed best driver in the history of the sport. He's already really that. He's tied with Michael Schumacher for 7 titles, but he has the most pole position. He has the most wins. He's got probably most everything pretty much going on right now. So it's only about the titles right now for him. That's something to watch when you're watching legendary things. When you want to watch other legendary things in tennis, right now we at Wimbledon, right? Of course, the story has to be the main story, but there's a lot of them, is, hey, look, we're going into the 3rd round without either Williams sister. They're up there, 40-something years old. I think Serena's going to turn, close. They're getting close to 40. Venus, and so Venus was knocked out early in the 1st round or 2nd round, and Serena got hurt because the grass is a little bit too wet out there. A few people got hurt, and so that's probably not the way Serena wants to end her career. But who knows how? That's a huge story. We also got Novak Djokovic at Wimbledon. Now, this is somebody who just won the French Open, but he's in Wimbledon on grass, and he's going to still be one of the favorites, going for his 20th Grand Slam title, which would tie him with Federer and Nadal. That's very, very interesting because at that point, he would probably be the GOAT. because he has the head-to-head versus both of those guys. So that's interesting. Federer, who's still been injured the whole year, has only played 10 matches. Hey, look at Federer. He's still in there, cruising into the third round. He's keeping low profile, right? This is the first time Federer's not a favorite, right? But he's on grass. That's on his favorite surface. So you never going to know. Mess around, let Federer get in that second week, then we got a whole different ball game popping off. So there's something. That's something that's legendary that you want to keep your eyes on, right? So another thing that's very legendary is going into the Major League Baseball. Listen, if you ain't watching Shohei Ohtani, right, then something wrong with you. If you've been watching all this baseball all these years and you act like what you're seeing with Shohei Ohtani is not ridiculous. Shohei Ohtani plays for the LA Angels and is, something we haven't seen for 100 years. He's a great pitcher. Great pitcher. His ERA probably is not, it was until last game. He had a first round outing and, he had to get out of that game because he just walked the first 3 batters and couldn't get himself back together, right? Against the Yankees, although the Angels came back and won that game, so he doesn't even get a loss either. But his ERA will shoot up because of that. But he's been under 2.0 ERA the whole year. He's probably shot over that right now. Strikes out a whole lot of batters. He's up to probably, I don't know how many batters, but he's played close to 90 strikeouts already with only 31 walks before that game. So it's probably about 35, 36 walks now. But, he's doing a good job with that, with strikeouts against the walks. Right, pitches over 100 miles an hour, and he hits at a ridiculous rate. Right, I'm just gonna say this, and no people probably won't even believe it. He's a great pitcher who is leading the MLB right now in home runs with 28. Right, that's ridiculous. Guerrero would still be probably the offensive MVP if it was just offense, because Guerrero's batting average is a little bit higher. But then you're looking at Shohei Ohtani, who has the most extra base hits, because he got about 17 or 18 doubles with 4 triples and 11 stolen bases, guys, right? And who knows how many runs. He's like in the top 3 in the RBIs as well. This as being a pitcher and hitting at this level, legendary. Watch it. Just like people were trying to tell you the Russell Westbrook's triple doubles wasn't all that. Yes, they are, because it wasn't happening. It's Bigfoot footage way back in the 60s. The things that you've seen with Shohei Ohtani wasn't happening until 1900s. That means it's something, because everybody can't do it, right? Russell Westbrook averaging a triple-double, getting triple-doubles every night, no matter how his teams keeps changing. How you going to average a triple-double with the Washington Wizards? Stop acting like that. Everybody was going to do that with the Washington Wizards, because you know Bradley Beal and nobody else. You probably know Brook Lopez's brother, and that's probably what you call him, Brook Lopez's brother, right? You don't even call him Robin Lopez. Stop acting like that was something that was not normal. Russell Westbrook was ridiculously abnormal, right? And you're supposed to see that. I've been watching the last 5 years because I knew those triple doubles was ridiculous, and I've been keeping an eye on that. So those are legendary things you want to be watching, right? Keep your eye on just the sports stuff that's going on. I probably missed a thing or two, but those are the top stories in sports. Now let's go to boxing real quick. Let's talk to one of the fighters that I happen to call the Negro League fighters, which are fighters that happen to be Negroes who don't get the opportunity to be as great as they really are, and the press doesn't make you realize how great they really are. You have to kind of research, right? As soon as there's a big opportunity fight to prove it, then no one will say anything about it. Constantly, over and over, right? Should I name some of them? Yeah, let's go through them again. Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz at heavyweight, Deontay Wilder at heavyweight, Michael Hunter at heavyweight, Demetrius Andrade at middleweight, Jamal Charlo at middleweight. Go to welterweight, I would say Terrence Crawford right there. We'll leave it at that. Lightweight, Devin Haney, right? And bantamweight down there, Guillermo Rigondeaux. Shakur Stevenson and David Morrell are people that are waiting to get in there real soon, right? I might have missed one, I'm not sure. But those are the guys that we know damn well has been undisputed fights with Demetrius Andrade. We can't get it. And the media didn't say nothing because it was Canelo. Right? We can't get nobody to fight Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz, can we? Like nobody. Right? Dillian White talking all this smack right now. That's all they got to do is fight him, and he keeps showing up. Right? People don't want Deontay Wilder to fight Fury for 9 months, talking about Fury and Anthony Joshua. And when Deontay Wilder was trying to get undisputed with Anthony Joshua, what were we getting? Problems. Right? Devin Haney can't get an undisputed fight against Teofimo Lopez. Ain't nobody forcing Teofimo Lopez to fight him. Devin Haney can't fight the number 1 pound for pound back in the day. Well, what we used to call him, at least that, the number 1 pound for pound, and Lomachenko. He's able to go get a franchise title, right, instead of fighting Devin Haney. right? Guillermo Rigondeaux can't get none of these dudes. Inoue is the monster in the division right now, Inoue, and we can't get him to fight Rigondeaux. But I'm gonna talk about that. But that's the thing. And Jamal Charlo, reason why we got a belt called the franchise title right now, right? Because Jamal Charlo was dangerous. We got a damn belt because of it. Because Canelo wasn't gonna fight his mandatory, and that was Jamal Charlo. And like I say before, with people that don't believe me, if the mandatory name was Zamaretta, right? Steve Rose, Roy Fielding, Admiral Yildirim, or something like that, damn it, we wouldn't have never seen no franchise title. But because it was Charlo, Canelo asked for something special and he got it. And now we got that all in boxing, messing it all up and confusing every damn body, right? But people are not confused. Some are playing confused. Basically, the damn franchise title don't mean nothing except Charlo belt. That's what it means. Other than that, it means I'm giving you something so you can avoid somebody dangerous. And those dangerous fighters, where it became, when it was, founded, let's say, that was Jamal Charlo. And then Lomachenko asked when he had to fight Devin Haney. So, let's go to what Rigondeaux. Guillermo Rigondeaux, 122-pound champion, the IBF style. They took the title for him when he went up to 130 to fight Lomachenko. So he's really the champion at 122. He never lost. Now he's down in 118. He's a champion, a regular champion for the WBA. Right? And the other champions are Nonito Donaire, right? And John Real Casimero, who were supposed to fight. Now, Casimero was supposed to fight Guillermo Rigondeaux. But because Casimero and Nonito Donaire just won his last fight impressively, 38 years old, and they're both Filipino, your boy Rigondeaux stepped aside to say, okay, you guys can have it, right? And thinking that they're going to fight him after that. They said, shoot, after we fight Casimero and Donaire, then we want to fight Inoue for undisputed, leaving Rigondeaux out of the picture just by being nice. Well, anyway, we've had problems with Nonito Donaire and Casimero. What has happened is Casimero has insulted Nonito Donaire's wife, and he won't apply for VADA testing, drug testing, right? And so Nonito Donaire says, okay, well, you're going to be acting like that. I'm not going for that. Plus, you're going to go talk about my lady, and you're going to mess around and won't get in VADA testing. Okay, it's good, it's a good argument, right? Because VADA testing, Casimero's probably thinking, well, shoot, Pacquiao didn't have to do that against Thurman. Nobody even talks about that. Shoot, Pacquiao still get props. Pacquiao didn't want to do that against Floyd Mayweather. Shoot, everybody got mad at Floyd Mayweather. Canelo Alvarez and got dope with clenbuterol. Obviously, they just raised the levels, slapped him on the wrist, let him stay out 6 months. Right after that, then other people gonna dope too. It's like, shoot, all the Canelo got was 6 months. So I knew that all the fighters that got doped in that time was gonna be like, hey, look, Canelo was 6 months. Casimero was thinking, shoot, why am I for Philippines too? Pacquiao don't have to take dope tests. He don't have to join VADA. Well, I ain't. They still love Pacquiao. I ain't doing it neither. Billy Joe Saunders was dope when he was supposed to fight Demetrius Andrade. Then he got a Canelo fight before Demetrius Andrade being doped. Tyson Fury is considered the best heavyweight. Has been doped twice, among other things, but just damn doped twice. You know what I'm saying? And it's bigger than everybody. They love him more than the ones that ain't doped. In every division, they love Canelo more than the undoped brothers with Andrade and Charlo, don't they? Right? They love Billy Joe Saunders more than them. They love Tyson Fury more than Deontay Wilder. Right? Pacquiao more than Floyd Mayweather. Pacquiao the one that didn't want to take a dope test. Pacquiao more than Keith Thurman. Pacquiao didn't want to take a dope test. So why would these guys do that? That's what that's all about. But be that as it may, Donaire needs a dancing partner now. Now go and get the guy, because Rigondeaux has said, hey, Donaire, let us have the rematch. That's the fight that everyone wants anyway, right? When you were number 3 pound for pound, I beat the hell out of you as a smaller guy, right? You supposed to be wanting to rematch me. I still have a belt right now, and I've been undefeated. You're riding a high. They're telling you that you're the great because you got a title at 38 years old, even though I got one right here at 40 years old. But let's us have the rematch, and it's all good, right? But Donaire is leaning towards the rematch against Inoue. Why wouldn't he? One guy, you broke their eye socket, and he's considered number 3 pound for pound right now. You feeling that? Or the guy who beat the hell out of you, and you don't have too many positives to take out of that fight because you're 7 years younger and you got dominated. That's probably why he's not going to say anything to Rigondeaux, right? So the point here is, bottom line is, no, Casamaro's out. Rigondeaux should be in. Not Inoue. Give Rigondeaux also the opportunity to fight Nonito Donaire again in a high-profile fight, and then after that, be able to fight Inoue, right? Or Casemiro or whatever, but be in the mix, just like I said in another video. That's what's got to happen. But it doesn't really happen like that with Negro League fighters, because basically no one really wants it at that point. Because at the end of the day, ooh, Andrade fights Canelo, right? Damn, then Andrade could possibly be undisputed. We don't want that. Deontay Wilder fights Anthony Joshua. Deontay Wilder could possibly be undisputed. We're not really liking that, right? Deontay Wilder fights Tyson Fury, and then after that, if he beats Tyson Fury, we're not going to really want undisputed, right? Now, we want undisputed with Inoue versus the Casemiro Donaire winner. But do we want undisputed if Rigondeaux can fight Inoue or Nonito Donaire? Not really. Do we really want the undisputed fight between Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney? Not really, because Devin Haney could mess around and win that. And then what happens with a Devin Haney, if a Demetrius Andrade, if a Guillermo Rigondeaux, if a Deontay Wilder, or somebody like that is undisputed? What was the problem with that, you would say? Well, the shenanigans stop. We would have one champion, and then that champion would only fight mandatories, the hardest things that you have to bring. That's what boxing doesn't want, because the shenanigans will be over with these kind of guys. Because these kind of guys, they believe in their talent, and they would take all comers. And then that would stop all of this other stuff where we can just anoint people, and then they never fight nobody, and you can ask those awesome guys, those Negro League fighters, who the hell you fought? That's how this works. That's why Rigondeaux, and no one will be wanting for Rigondeaux to fight Nonito Donaire or Inoue. Watch what I tell you. Bam. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.